Welcome to the first reading vlog of 2026. I cannot read this book for one more day. Yeah, that's my little crochet update. Yeah, I had a lot of problems with a lot of this book. This was a very interesting book, and that's not complimentary. Hi fairies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fifi. It's so nice to have you here. I hope you stay a while. Welcome to the first reading vlog of 2026. It's currently January 3rd. I actually wanted to start this reading vlog yesterday, but I think I'm like in a little bit of a filming book slump after doing react maths and book maths, so like 24 videos in the month of December. That was definitely crazy, but you can go and check out our playlist if you missed any of the videos. But yeah, a couple of months ago, I saw this creator that I love watching film a video where she basically just finished all the books that she was already in the middle of. So that's essentially what we are going to be doing today. I have 3 books that I have already started, and we will be finishing them in this video. The first 2 are actually NetGalley arcs. Okay, I have an audiobook and an ebook. Both of them are due on the 6th of January. So we have just like 3 days to get done with these books. Let me tell you about the first one that we are going to be tackling. We have Holy Wrath by Victoria Meyer. This is an audiobook arc that I was granted. Basically, in a city clinging to light during an age of darkness, all healer Ophelia wants is for a saint to finally claim her and bless her with powers to work the mysteries. But obviously, that does not happen. When she is tasked with caring for an injured prisoner, Ophelia sees the perfect opportunity to prove she is ready for her sainting. The prisoner is none other than Lupanox, the most dangerous warrior of the Sepulchre, her homeland's sworn enemy. If Ophelia can convert this Emily beautiful knight's wicked heart to the church of the host, then the saints will surely fight amongst themselves to claim her. But the Lupanox insist that Ophelia's beloved god is a murderous liar, and her city is built on blackened bones. It's easy enough to dismiss as blasphemy, at least at first. As Luminde's gilded secrets begin to tumble from their hiding places and Ophelia herself uncovers a conspiracy, she is forced to consider that Niatrix might be telling the truth, and that saving the alluring knight's soul is the least of her problems. This is a sapphic high fantasy about the fierceness of queer love and 2 women who no longer want equality once they have tasted revenge. Like, who wouldn't read that and be like, ooh, I'm sad? And I definitely was when I first started this book. I am now about 71% into it, and I'm still liking it. I just think there are some qualms that I have with this book. I don't know if I necessarily want to get into all those right now, but I think the writing in itself is generally very, very lyrical, almost poetic, very gothic, atmospheric, evocative even. I am liking it a lot for all of those reasons, but I'm also disliking it for a lot of other reasons. First of all, I think it is heavily insta-lusty, and I find that this is the case with most sapphic books that I read, and I just wonder why that is. I fear these authors think that to write a sapphic queer book, they have to prove the queerness almost immediately, and in the course of doing that, you just give us too much too soon and it just falls flat. But this hasn't necessarily fallen flat, at least not yet. I am really liking the romance generally. It is definitely too much too soon. I just really think that we could have taken some time before they started getting into all the spiciness of it all. This book definitely has a lot of dark themes aside from the whole spiciness and lust filled situation we have with the main characters, and you should definitely check trigger warnings before you get into it. But I am quite enjoying it. Okay, it's very entertaining. A lot is happening. I like that we are having commentary on religion, Christian religion especially, and what that means for a lot of people that don't necessarily want to conform. Okay, especially people in the LGBTQ community. I love that. I also really like so far how unique it feels. It definitely still has those like trendy tropes that you would see in your regular romantasy. I don't think that is holding it back though, and I do find that is the case with your regular romantasy and romantasy that I have come to really dislike in recent days. Another qualm that I am having right now is that the author definitely has some specific literary devices and also specific phrases that she loves to use repeatedly, like over and over again. Like, we know you can feel the heat crawling up your skin. We know you can feel the heat pulling between your thighs. The amount of times we have gotten the smell of rot in this book is honestly one too many, and it is kind of getting on my nerves. Well, it's nothing too serious. That's obviously just me being a little bit, petty, I guess. But yeah, I'm really liking it so far. It's not my favorite thing ever, and it's not the best thing I've ever listened to, especially because I'm not loving the narrator. I don't think she's very good at delivering lines and dialogue. She's good at telling the story as it is, I guess, but like delivering lines and conversations between characters, she's just like very flat and monotonous, and I don't understand why that is. But yeah, I'm going to keep listening to it. And honestly, I think I will give you my final thoughts when I finally finish it because I only have about 20 something percent left. So see you then. So thankfully, I have finished Holy Wrath by Stephanie Meyer. I quite enjoyed this book for what it was, honestly. I had a lot of problems with a lot of this book, but I also really enjoyed a good amount of this book. I thought the writing, while very beautiful and lyrical and atmospheric, evocative, immersive, was also like very much repetitive in its nature. A lot of phrases were repeated over and over again till they kind of started to lose their impact. This author apparently also has some very specific literary devices that she implies constantly, and again, it causes it to lessen the impact of these devices. I thought the characters, while they had a bit of depth, also felt very much surface level. I don't know how to explain it, but they didn't feel like real people, just like characters. I prefer my characters, while they obviously are characters, to feel real to me, to feel like they could literally stand right next to me and I could have conversations with them. But that was not really the case in this book. The romance as well was very insta lusty, like heavy on the insta lust. It was kind of a lot. There wasn't actual spice, like there wasn't that much spice. I think we only got like two spice scenes and they were okay. They did feel like unnatural and cringy a little bit, but generally they weren't that bad and it wasn't necessarily spicy. I just think there was a lot of lost and lost filled thoughts from our main character so fast. Another thing that I personally really enjoyed about this book was the social and political commentary that it made. I loved how it talked about religious trauma and the quiet violence and destruction that comes with spiritual oppression, and how women often are the bots and the ones to suffer in these religious structural spaces. I think a lot of people that have now distanced themselves from religious spaces and religion in general can relate to how Ophelia quietly and slowly destructured and dismembered herself from this faith that she was very devoted to in the beginning. When it comes to religion of any kind, honestly, I feel like once you start to get more exposed to the real world and start to be more educated, you will understand that there's a lot of oppression going on. And I loved how we saw that trajectory in Ophelia's life. I also loved how we tackled Ophelia's identity and self discovery, especially as a disabled person who is constantly and has constantly been living for everybody but herself. Throughout this book, we watch her break free from those structural and systemic holds and strengthen her faith in herself and her belief in herself and her love for herself. And I think that was very beautiful. Obviously, it's sapphic, and I do love the sapphic and LGBT representation, but I did think that the romance in this book was one, too insta-lusty, as I have said. Also, it didn't feel very realistic, in my opinion. I didn't feel enough chemistry from them. I don't know. It was just a lot of lust, a lot of, fiery passion, I guess you would say, but not real chemistry and love. I felt like their relationship was simply based on rebellion against Ophelia's faith or past faith, and I didn't believe in it that much, unfortunately. I also found the plot and the world very messy. The world building was not structured or well thought out, in my opinion. There were a lot of inconsistencies, and the plot was very messy and uneven and had us just jumping from place to place, just senselessly, I guess I would say. Generally, it was a very enjoyable and entertaining read, but I think it was more reliant on mood and atmosphere than actual cohesion. So yeah, I think I'm going to settle on a 3.25 or maybe 3.5, I guess you'll see on the screen. But I enjoyed it for what it was, just not my favorite thing ever. It is in fact my first book of this year, so it makes me sad that it wasn't like an outstanding read for me, but whatever, doesn't really matter at the end of the day. We are now going to start our next book for this reading vlog, another book that I started and kind of left. The Charmed Library by Jennifer Morman. This is a fantastical literary women's fiction, apparently. I am about about 12% into this book on chapter 3. And when I started this book, I was so confused. I had no idea what was going on. I literally had to read and reread the synopsis like multiple times for me to grasp the concept. And I think it's a very interesting and intriguing concept. Basically, we are following our main character, Stella. Her father has just died. Her brother has moved to a completely different country or state, I don't know, and then she got randomly broken up with or even ghosted by her ex. So she's really going through it right now. Things are not looking smooth, but the only thing she has going for her is that she works in this very beautiful library with this old man that she loves and cares for, who is basically like a father figure to her. Apparently, the magic in this book is that she can see words physically. I mean, she can see people's feelings as words. They appear to her when she meets people. I don't really know much about that. We're just getting into it. I find that very intriguing and I'm curious to find out why exactly she has that power. Another thing I got from the synopsis is that something happens and apparently some characters from some of her favorite books are able to come to life and she forms a romantic relationship with one of these characters. I didn't necessarily love that. I didn't find that as exciting because I feel like there's already a power dynamic going on there that I don't necessarily love because it would be characters that she knows basically everything about because she has read all about them already. So I don't know how that romance will work or happen or bloom. I am a little bit nervous about that. But yeah, we are just getting into it. We are seeing her basically live her life as this librarian or library assistant. What I can say so far about this book is that this woman is 30 years old and the writing and their dialogue just feels very, very juvenile, okay? Especially when she's talking to her best friend. They talk like 12-year-olds or even like younger children. And it's very weird to me because what is going on? It's very like jarring. The book is trying to be very lyrical, but it's also very modern and is incorporating various like bookish trends and popular opinions. And I don't know that I necessarily love that because I don't love books that are heavy on like modern slang and modern inflections and all that. I just don't enjoy that necessarily. I really don't know how I will feel about this book. I'm already like skeptical and scared, but like I said, I'm just 12% into it. So let's have some hope and have some faith that it would work out and it would eventually be good because I really want it to be good. Okay, if it's not good, that would mean like my first two books of this year are like mid books. And I don't want that. Like, who wants that? That would be upsetting. But yeah, I'm going to keep reading and I will let you know whatever happens. I am 47% into this book on chapter 12, and I have to say that I am really not going to like this book. Like, I can already tell. We have finally been introduced to the male main character, and already our female main character has feelings for him. She already had feelings for him before he even got introduced. It's just like a very weird and icky situation, and I do not like the dynamic surrounding this relationship at all. It's just giving me weird vibes. Okay, there's some weird stuff with age. Like, why did he know her when she was a literal child? Like, it's just, I already cannot get down with it. I don't even see any chemistry, at least so far. And yeah, the writing's just not my favorite thing ever. It's too childish for me. It's just like so unserious, and it's trying to be serious but still being unserious and like quirky. And it's like, ugh, like let's grow up. Like, this character is literally a 30-year-old woman. And she's just not acting like it whatsoever. She's just acting like a teenager. Like, I don't know. It's just not looking great right now. It's really not. Obviously, I'm going to keep going. I am not really a DNFer. Or I would have DNF this book if I was, somebody that was quick to DNF books. I'm already 47% into it. Let's get it over with. Like, why the fuck is Mr. Darcy here? I just got back from work. I am so freaking tired, but I thought I would come on here and give you guys an update. I am now 77% into this book, and the truth of the matter is that I actually kind of hate this book. I'm really not vibing. I don't know what it is. It just isn't clicking with my soul, with my spirit. I'm not liking it whatsoever. And there's not even like a particular reason why. I mean, yeah, I do have a number of reasons why I'm not liking it, but like I can't see the appeal in a book like this, and in this book in general. I can see a lot of people really liking and enjoying it. I just don't think it's for me. I already said this, but I find that the writing is just too juvenile for my liking. Okay, this is a 30-year-old woman. Why is she acting like this? Why is she talking like this? It's jarring, it's upsetting. I also really am not liking this romance. It's so insta lovey. Like, they literally just met. I think they met like a day or two ago, and they're already like in love, literally in love. And it's so icky because of some other factors that I don't want to spoil, but like, yeah, things to do with age, and I do not mess with that. I do not like that. It gives me weird vibes. Everything just feels so unnatural. They have no chemistry. It seems forced. All the characters are so shallow and baseless and have no real depth or personality to them, and I'm just like, what is happening? Like, this is just a very basic book with some very basic tropes. It's trying so hard to be unique, but it's not landing. Nothing is landing for me. I just am very eager to be done with it, and that's very sad. I never want to feel that way about a book, especially a book like this that I really thought I would enjoy because of the whole library situation going on. I usually think books surrounding books would like be right up my alley, but this is just not hitting. And it's really upsetting me and my homegirls. So yeah, I actually just found out that not only was I granted the ebook, I was also granted the audiobook. So I am going to like play that on 2 times speed and get this over with, because it's actually the 6th today. So this book actually comes out today. I'm going to change my clothes, settle down, log in, and finish this book, because I literally cannot do it for another day. Like, I cannot read this book for one more day.
You've been listening to the audio production of The Charmed Library by Jennifer Mormon and performed by Kathleen McInerney. This program was produced by Elegant Productions Incorporated.
So it's actually been a couple of days. Okay, I had a lot going on, so I took a break from this video. I did start and finish one book in that time. That was Star Society by Gabriela Saab. It's a historical fiction, a very good book. I gave it 4 stars. I really recommend it. But let's talk about The Charmed Library, because I did in fact finish this a couple of days ago. This was a very interesting book, and that's not complimentary. Okay, I generally did not like this book. Okay, I thought the writing was very basic, felt very juvenile, as well as the dialogue and conversations between the characters. The characters themselves felt very juvenile. Our main character is supposed to be 30 years old, and she literally acts like a teenager throughout this book, and so does her best friend. It was an intriguing premise, but overall, I just think it didn't land as well as it should have, and the delivery was just a little too childish and juvenile for my liking, so I did not love that. I also thought there were so many inconsistencies with the plot. We are told that our main character is the one that ignites the magic of this library, and then we are also told that her boss, who is like this old man that owns the library, has been doing this magical thing for a very long time. So like, which is it? Back to the writing, I didn't love the involvement of modern day bookish slang and pop culture references, like Taylor Swift was mentioned. Once Taylor Swift is mentioned in the book, I literally cannot take it seriously anymore. Like, how? How? Like, I'm a huge Taylor fan, not anymore these days, but I'm a huge fan of her albums, mostly Evermore and Folklore. But like, stop. Stop it. Also, the romance was just especially uncomfortable for me. I don't want to spoil it, obviously, but I just found it too icky, and the dynamic was just ugh, not my favorite thing ever, and I did not vibe with it whatsoever. I did not even see or feel any chemistry between these characters, and yeah, it just didn't make sense to me, and it was also insta lovely. They literally spent less than a week together, and suddenly they were like in love. They were ready to give up both of their lives for each other, and it's like that's weird to me, especially knowing the background and the intricacies of the dynamic. Yeah, I didn't love that. So generally, the plot was just very messy and unfocused. The characters were not my favorites. The romance I didn't like whatsoever. The prose itself was just trying so hard to be so quirky that it fell flat for me. So I don't think I would recommend this book at all. I actually can see how a lot of people would like and appreciate this book, but I personally do not recommend it. It was generally entertaining, which is why I'm going to settle on a 2 star instead of a 1 star, but I didn't like it. So yeah. Now the next and final book we are going to be reading in this video is this one, Lily by Rose Tremaine, A Tale of Revenge. Basically, it says London 1850. On a freezing winter's night, a baby is abandoned at the gates of a park only to be saved by a young policeman and taken to the Farmland Hospital. After suffering years of brutal hardship at the hospital, Lily is released into the world of Victorian London, but she is hiding a dreadful secret. When Lily and the policeman meet again, Lily is convinced that he holds the key to her happiness, but might he also be the one to uncover her crime and so condemn her to death? I guess we'll find out. So I started this book about a month ago in December, okay, and I have only made it to page 68, the chapter called The Brass Crucifix. The thing is that I didn't have any problems with it. I was quite intrigued. I just didn't feel like picking up, and I haven't felt like picking it up for weeks and weeks, but I think it's finally time. I need to finish this book. I actually might try to finish it today. We have this much left, so that's very ambitious of me, but I'm going to just sit down and try and read this book as much as possible today. I am about 20 to 30% into this book, so if you want my initial thoughts, I would just say that it's going well. Nothing special, nothing that has really caught my attention just yet. We're getting some background information about our main character Lily and just how she got to the point that she gets to in the premise. So yeah, I think the writing is pretty okay. Again, nothing special. It's very lyrical, but also quite simplistic and easy to follow. So I think it's going to be relatively easy for me to get through this today. I guess we'll see. So it took me literally forever, but I finally finished Lily by Rose Tremaine. This was a solid read, a very solid read. I quite liked it. I did. I thought the author did a really good job with the writing. It was very evocative. She was able to create this very intense, dark, and moody Victorian atmosphere that really, really kind of immerses you into the story. I really enjoyed that. I think she did a very good job in bringing 19th century London to life. I love how it very clearly showcased how harsh times were for underprivileged people, especially women and children, especially children that are, you know, motherless, fatherless, as our main character Lily is. Lily herself is a very interesting and complex main character, and knowing that she committed a murder from literally the first page, or literally the premise, the synopsis, really just added so much tension and set the scene. And throughout the story, we are basically just getting the backstory and her life story essentially, and how she got to where she is, where she committed this murder. So I really did enjoy that. I did have a number of qualms with this book. Okay, firstly, with the writing, I thought it was beautiful, evocative, all of that, lyrical, but it was also very like tedious. It was very melodramatic in its essence. We would just get these run-on sentences that literally like go on forever. Let me look for one. Yeah, I took note of it. And she says now that she has put her faith in the longing of the stranger, as if somehow he might redeem her, as if through him she might finally be granted the feeling of freedom she'd hoped would come in the wake of her crime, and which did indeed arrive to comfort her heart for a while, and then somehow faded away, as if the whole thing had never happened and so needed to be done again. Like this particular one, honestly, was very impactful. It definitely did what it was intending to do, but I think there were some other instances where it just felt tedious and overcompensating, doing a little too much. And yeah, I didn't love those aspects of the writing. I will say that. Speaking of said stranger, okay, that is another qualm that I had with this book. Lily develops feelings for this man who saved her when she was a child. So when she was a baby, he saved her like from wolves, I believe. And he was already an adult, like he was already a policeman. And now she's like 17 and she started developing feelings for him, and so did he. So that was very icky. It definitely, obviously, is resonative and representative of the times that this book is set in, but it still gave me the ick. I really did not like it. I would just say that not much came from that, but I did not like it at all. So generally, I would say this was a very thoughtful, intense and evocative read. Really just puts things into perspective. I think it wasn't necessarily a standout, and the writing was a bit annoying and caused me to feel a little emotionally distant from the book. As for the rating, I think I will settle on a 3.5, maybe a 3.75. I'm not quite sure. It was a good book, solid read. I quite enjoyed it for what it was. It just wasn't that great, okay, especially considering the fact that I read it for over a month. So yeah, that actually brings us to the end of the video. But before I let you go, I realized that I had some clips of me crocheting in this video, and I haven't given you guys an actual crochet update in a while. So yeah, here I am to do just that. So my first ever fully finished project was a pencil case that I made for a family friend, a 9-year-old, and I have since given that to her. I forgot to take pictures of it before I gave it to her. So I guess you're going to have to use your imagination with that one. You won't have to do too much because it wasn't that good, so don't worry. But my official first project was this bag. I did a waffle stitch and I got this bag. It's not that good. It's really not, but I am very proud of it. Like, I really am. It took me maybe like 2 days or more. Actually, it took me like 3 days, but that was because I ran out of yarn and I had to go and buy more. But like, it was actually really fun making this, and I have learned so much from making this. So I think, yeah, I'm getting better essentially. But yeah, very proud of this. And then I made this. This is, it looks like nothing right now, but it's a hammock. It's going to be my yarn hammock for all my yarn. Essentially, I want to hang it right there in that corner. And yeah, I haven't had the opportunity to do that yet, but maybe one of these days I will. So yeah, I'm also very proud of it because it was a very interesting stitch. I don't know what name it is, but yeah, I have these flowers that I am going to like use to decorate the hammock. I made so many actually. Look how cute. And the project that I am currently working on is this tote bag, or it's supposed to be a tote bag. I started it with this very thin yarn and also with this very thin crochet hook or loom. And yeah, that was probably not the best idea because it's like taking forever. I started this so long ago, weeks now. And I think I'm just going to like defrog it. I think that's what it's called, or like take it apart and start over with a bigger yarn and bigger loom because I just can't deal right now. I really can't. So yeah, that's my little crochet update. This is my favorite flower. I just love the purple and the red together. I didn't think purple and red went that well together. And this too, like, so cute. Anyway, yeah, that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Let me know if you've read any of the books that we talked about in this video. If you would like to read any of them, just talk to me down below. I love reading and replying comments. It's one of my favorite pastimes. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and also follow me on Instagram if you want to be book besties or just besties in general. I would really love and appreciate that. But for now, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.